Let's get this started, shall we? Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. Praise be the Spiral. Hope you're all doing very well this evening. I'm feeling rather rough. I've been to the pub and had about 5 pints before this, so I'm going to struggle to get through tonight, hence why I'm only drinking water. I haven't even changed what my command says, so I just have to deal with it saying whatever I was drinking on Saturday. And already I'm pouring water over my keyboard. It's not a good start. Yeah, let's just crack on. I think not really a lot to say. EGX tomorrow. I'm kind of a bit nervous about that, but I'm sure I'll be okay. Should be there all day pretty much, but I'll be on at 3:00 with Tristabytes, Aravel, and Ibitron, I think his name is. I can't remember the names. I'm already so pissed. It's really not a good start. Ibstatron, that's the one. With a Sobitech hosting, so that's going to be interesting. Looking forward to it, but I am a little bit nervous. But it's fine. I'll just find somewhere that sells vodka before the session begins, and I should be fine. Let me just knock the volume down a little bit on the music. It's a little bit loud, so yeah. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be pretty good. So, I'd say I'll be there most of the day. I think I'm going to go early. I'm going to meet Sean there. So he's coming along with his girlfriend. Going to do a little bit of kind of reconnaissance of the place, check some stuff out, check some new games out and stuff. And then in the afternoon, going to do the panel, which is about promoting your game through Twitch, game development and promotion through Twitch. And then I'm just going to chill out, I think. I'm not going to be streaming this weekend, by the way. I am out. I'm going out to for a meal with some friends on Saturday, so that's not going to happen on Saturday, unfortunately. But so it's a bit of a dry week this week for streams, but hopefully you're okay. Thank you very much for the bits, by the way, 5 sprites. I very much appreciate it, as ever. Just go on at length about how much you like the Spectrum. Oh, if anything, it will be the opposite. If anything, it will be the opposite. All right, let's just crack on with tonight. I'm going to make this code a little bit bigger so you can see it. I've been working on Mega 65 stuff this week, so I've had the window a bit smaller. Yeah, no stream on Saturday. Sorry, Ekmafin. I'm just going to play Battlefield for a little bit during the day, and then I'm out from about 6:00 onwards, so there won't be a stream on Saturday, unfortunately. But I'll be back next week, a week today, so I'll be back on the Thursday again to continue this. Let me add points to you all and start the quizzes, and then we'll crack on. So let me tell you what we're going to do tonight. We're going to look at starting to add collision to the screens. Now we've got that going right. Yeah, that was right. Okay. Now we've got the basics of the well, actually, most of the kind of dynamics screen code loader working. We can start to kind of use the extra space to do some stuff, and we need to do collision. That's the next big thing. We may move some more stuff into that area. I think I did all the screens, didn't I, last time? Let me start the quiz for you. Hang on. There you go. Christmas pictures are out already. Jaguar game. Played some Far Cry 6 today. It's basically Far Cry 5 New Dawn reskinned. Okay. I mean, hasn't Far Cry been like that for the past few anyway? I think 5 was quite similar to 4, but reskinned, I think. They're in, once you get a game that's got a successful kind of franchise, I think that's a successful kind of IP, sorry. That seems to be the trap that everyone falls into, I think. Battlefield was surprisingly different. Actually, I was quite pleased with my experience of Battlefield. I have to say, I think the Battlefield 2042 demo is a little bit buggy, but I hear it's quite an old build. So I'm hoping that they kind of fix some of the issues that made it feel less than polished. But I think the general design of the game is really nice. I think the graphics look really good. The tornado is incredible. If you haven't seen that yet, go and check a video of the open beta for Battlefield 2042. Type in Battlefield 2042 open beta tornado. It's absolutely incredible. It's one of the best things in it. They definitely spent a lot of time making that work for the demo because it is really good. Going to stream Battlefield, not this week, no, because unfortunately I'm busy for most of the time. Saturday afternoon is going to be about the only time I get to play it. I'm not going to play it tonight. Not going to get a chance to play it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe I might do. I'm not sure, but I do have I've got Mega 65 game stuff I want to do as well. So I'm just gonna I'm probably gonna pass on the beat. It does feel a little bit buggy. It's not quite there. But from what I hear, as I say, it's an old build, and the newer builds have improved much on that. So shame no single player. Yeah, but I mean, I did enjoy the war stories in the last two games, but honestly, I don't buy Battlefield for anything other than the multiplayer. It's nice to have a bit of single player on there, but I'm glad that they're focusing their efforts on making the multiplayer as good as they can, and I think they've done a really good job. It feels really nice. As I say, it just needs some of the bugs sorting out. Like, I'm getting weird performance kind of dips at very unusual points as well. Like not when you would expect it, just random dips in performance. And just things like that. Like animations aren't quite complete. There's lots of kind of weird glitches here and there. So, but the destruction's not as good actually. I prefer the destruction in Battlefield 5. It feels a bit a bit kind of overly pre-calculated. I know they're pre-calculated in Battlefield 5 as well, but it feels overly pre-calculated in this to the extent where you'll be blowing up walls and it will just blow holes in the walls of the same size and shape in a few places, and it just looks very kind of cheap, if you know what I mean. But anyway, let's crack on. Let's not talk about modern games. Let's get on to making a retro game. They'll fix it in the roadmap. Yeah. Thankfully, DICE do have a little bit more sway, I think, than most EA companies. As a kind of franchise, you know, the DICE games generally are kind of big leading games for them. But I think that's slowly being eroded over time. Anyway. Okay, so let's just see where. Oh, I don't need to see where we're at because we didn't really make any graphical changes. So what we did was make all this dynamic stuff. I do want to see what the memory map is like though, just to remind myself what we'd saved. I can hear music going to start on this. Don't want it to start on this. Save settings on exit. Okay. Also, why is it not loading? That's interesting. Did I press the wrong button? Maybe I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, I think I did, because... Oh, no, look. What on earth have I done? Right, did I break anything in here? No. Okay, interesting. See where we are in the monitor. This is not a good start. I'm really not in the mood for fixing this right now. So I hope I can figure out what this is very quickly, because I really don't want to mess with this. Hey, Nicomo. Koja's all putting on the Christmas backgrounds. I like it. Oh man, why is this not working? What is going on? Everything seems to be building fine. I've not got any issues there. And this was definitely working when I left it last time. Maybe I've done something weird in here. Let me just open my source tree. Let's move that there out of the way. What's that? What's that? What's that? Right. Well, injector RAM shouldn't matter on. Well, I mean, I'll check it, but yeah, it could be. Could be if this works, then points to it is on injector RAM there. This was definitely working when we left it. Windows 11. No, I've not done the Windows 11 stuff yet. See, it's not working here either. It's really weird. Oh man, I'm not in the mood for this. Just work, god damn you. Also, why is my F11? Wait, what is going on here? Something weird is going on. Okay. So interestingly, when it loads with the white background here, and then it goes black. Solar flare corrupted it. Yeah. Oh, and it was up to 15% slow because of a bug issue. Oh god, I won't be enabling that then. When the Windows 10 star menu you can turn on doesn't work in Windows 11. I'm sure they'll fix most of these things soon, though. I'm gonna wait a little bit for that, though. Oh, what is going on here? This is not good. All right, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna trace it from the beginning. Actually, I wonder if I just need to detach everything in here. Maybe it's that simple. Let me close all of these. Could just be using a weird version of Vice or something, but I've definitely seen some flash in here. Just get a Mac. No. Don't be stupid. Mate, what is this? TTK warning. Could not load. Alright, I don't care about that. Also, why is it loading x64.exe and not x64sc.exe? So let's try the latest version of Vice. Man, I'm really not in the mood for this. Okay, let's try building. See if we get any output in here. Okay, that's interesting. Not seeing any output. Okay, there we go. So let's drop in the cart file in manually. Let's try in this version of Vice. What have I done? What on earth did I do that broke this? Huh. Sake. So it should load all of this. And then the boot file should be the one that loads up first. So it should load this thing. And if I just do that, what do I get? Let's see if this does something different. What have I done? Something weird. Something very weird going on. That should be the first thing that boots this file. And for some reason it's not doing. Ah, bollocks. Do you know what? I thought trying to use Twitch tonight was going to be the tricky thing, uh, because of the stream key reset thing. But it turns out no, it's actually. Oh, hang on, cart loader. Wait a minute. Oh, I was All right, I think I know what it is. I need to go and restore some. So I was messing around in the cart loader trying to make it more efficient. I can see in my GitHub history. So actually, if I just go here and discard all my changes, yes. Hey, there we go. Cool. Right, that will teach me to mess with things. I was a little bit drunk and I was messing around with cart loader code, which obviously didn't work. I can tell I've been using a Mac today as well because I keep doing that instead of saving. Just trying to catch up with chat a little bit. Hey, Mike. We'll get you back out of retirement, don't you worry. All right, where was I? Oh, yeah, so I was looking at the blah, 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 blah. Right, reset. We were looking at the memory usage for stuff. So there's this laser stuff that I probably want to move. So I might do that in a minute, actually, before we start the collision, because I do want to start using some of this area here. But we do have the end of screen data at this location, so there's not a lot of screen data, and it's kind of fitting into that for all of these screens. I suspect that this isn't going to grow too much, and I believe we're not loading anything else higher up until B00. Yeah, this is the high code. And then we're using, I think the dynamic code is loaded into A00 or something like that. Let's have a look. Yeah. So we can probably squeeze some stuff in the end there as well. There's also the sprite area at the top, because we don't necessarily need all sprites, and they can be loaded dynamically as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some of this code out of here now and try and think about how best to make this load in. So for instance, if I move this laser code, it needs to be loadable into an area that's consistent. So what I'm considering doing here is using some of that A00 area here, because very few of these are going to take up the whole 4 kilobytes or whatever it's going to be. Yeah, 4 kilobytes over to B00. So I think if I load the laser code at A800, that gives us 2 kilobytes per dynamic screen, and we'll be able to see if any of those overlap. So I think I'm going to start by doing that. So let's go and find the laser code. Netflix, what? Netflix. Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah, Netflix TV series. Yeah, as Price7 says, if it's a TV, if it's kind of consumed like a TV show, in that there's multiple episodes of it, over multiple series, or it might just be one series. Then yeah, sure, absolutely. I definitely treat Netflix as TV. Just not the only thing I don't want people to include is movies. It just has to be TV. But remember as well that it needs to be something that other people are going to recognize, because if they don't recognize it, then you're going to struggle. Yeah, the BBC music, yeah, it's not a bad show. If you want to do Squid Game, yeah. In fact, I don't even remember the music from Squid Game. Was there music for it? I don't remember. was probably too busy being horrified by what I was watching. Does it have to be an English channel? No, not at all. You can use a North Korean TV show if you really want, but people have got to recognize it. So good luck with that. Yeah, BBC is BBC News. I would count as a TV show sort of thing. But again, it's probably only going to be really relevant to people in the UK. I think people outside the UK are not going to have a clue what they're listening to. Or maybe some, because BBC News does do international broadcasts as well. But nothing has theme music. No, you're right. It doesn't, does it? That's kind of sad nowadays. That. Okay, let's try and move this laser code, because this laser code is only going to be relevant for one particular screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this kind of block of code like this. And I'm just going to change it ever so slightly for the laser code. So where is the laser? I think it's in the sprite section, weirdly. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to drop it in here. We're going to set the pseudo program counter to A800, which should be enough to do all of this. So we're going to have screen code loaded at A1000, and A800. A1800 is going to be where kind of other modules load in. So this is a module that will be shared across multiple screens, but it needs to be kept separate from the main code, because it doesn't need to be loaded all the time. So it's a bit of a waste if it is, in fact. So let's just tab that out. Whoa, god damn it, stupid thing. Let's get rid of the obvious pop-up that's hanging around. Yeah. Okay, and let's call it laser dynamic cart. Okay, so now I can save this and load this in at that location. So we'll need another one of those. Like that. There we go. Right. So this will save me a couple of, because I need to save as much of the code, this code area here as possible. From things like, the swarm is another one that I need to take out of there. Robotron code is another one I need to take out of there. So just things like that need to be moved out of there and moved into this location, so that they can be properly loaded in and free up room down here for other code. Because I think the end is 7400 here, so we're really close to the end before we start running into map code and some map data and stuff. Tonight's wine is not vodka, lime, and soda. It's just a San Pellegrino sparkling water with lemon zest. Tonight's wine was 5 pints of Amstel at the pub before I came here. Needs attic RAM, yeah. But this is the thing, we're using the cartridge a little bit like attic RAM in that sense. So no, the title screen is dynamically loaded in when it's needed. It's not kept in memory at all. The only thing that's kept in memory between those two states is the cart loader itself. We have got lots of room up in the sprite area as well, so we can start in encroaching on that sprite area if we need to, because the sprites, we're only using like 10 sprites or something like that, and the sprites can be dynamically loaded in as well, so there's no real need to have all the sprites loaded at the same time. We can just load them in as they're required. It might need some shuffling around of these sprites, because I think we're using a sprite pointer at the top of the sprite RAM, but we can always free a bit up there if we need to, because we're not using all of that at all. Okay, so let's add all these dynamic things here. So we've got screen dynamics here. So this is going to be our extra kind of why am I calling it that when it's called dynamic cart here? I'm not sure. Load file. All right, I'm going to call it that as well. I don't know why that's like that, but it seems to work, so I'm not gonna argue with it. So we're just registering this piece of code. I'm going to do the other ones while I'm here. So we're going to put a swarm in here, a Robotron. So I can't exactly remember what we have at oh shit, at B000, but that's B1000 to C1000, but there's definitely something there that I might be able to move up to the end of Sprite RAM rather than kind of fragment the code area too much. More so if I need to expand these areas here to say, for instance, Robotron, I would expect to maybe need a bit more memory at some point. So that could potentially move. It could just be that we just move some of the table stuff out of this to somewhere else. I'm not sure, but we'll check that when we come to it. Okay, so that means now in the game loop, no, not the game loop, sorry, the game loader, I need to take those files out now. So I need to take laser, swarms, and Robotron out of here. So there's swarms. Let's get rid of that one. And there's laser as well above it. So let's get rid of both of those. And oh, hang on. Wait. No, I do need to import them, but I need to do it in here, don't I? So let me keep that all together. Because obviously I need to import the code still, so they need to be down here, along with all the other stuff that gets added to the cart. So this is all cart added stuff. As you can see, title screen loader is in there. These are all just things that get queued up on the cartridge. They're not directly being loaded at this point. They're just being set up on the cart, and we need to import these in order to be able to do this. Otherwise, it won't be able to import. But now we need to load it. So let's take a look at the screen. So the very first screen that uses the laser, well, the only one that uses the laser at the moment is, I thought it was 11, but maybe not. Oh, because we've got dynamic code. There we go. Is this one here, which has got the door and it's got the laser in it. So in this one here, where we load this file in, we can also now load in laser dynamic cart. Okay. So then 12 has got the swarm in. So if we go into 12, okay, this doesn't have any dynamic loading in yet. So we probably need to make this similar to these ones as well. So we'll do that in a second. Actually, let's do that now while I'm thinking about it. We'll come back to the Robotron in a minute. Good choice of tune. That's what I need to chill me out, actually. I'm also trying to just calm my drinking down a little bit because we will be desperately needing the toilet every 3 minutes otherwise. Right, so let's add screen 12 in. There we go. So screen 12. And then we need to go to this file here. I'm just going to kind of remember how we'd set these up. Okay, right, so let me just copy that. That's probably the easiest way. New file, paste that in there, change it to 12, leave exit like that, leave update, just put the whole RTS in for now, right? Don't need that. And in it, okay. Don't need any of that. Change that to 12, 12, 12. Okay, that's screen 12. Let me grab let's get rid of that now. Don't need that. We need the dynamic loading. So this is how it loads in. So I'm just going to copy all of that as well. And then I'm going to open screen 12 in here. I'll just drop it in the middle. Fix it in a second. Right, so yeah, that will stay the same. That stays the same. Persistence, there is none, so that can stay the same. Don't need any of the switch stuff. We do need the init function. And that needs to be 12. That needs to be 12 dynamic. And this needs to be swarm. Okay, cool. Which means I can now get rid of this and all of this. So the reason I made this dynamic, even though it didn't need it before, was just because if I'm going to add these macros into load, I may as well do the whole thing. Then if we do need to write any code later on in this screen, which we will do, because it has the it has the there's like a laser barrier that we need to put in. So Okay, let me just sort my windows out. God damn it. Wrong windows open the wrong screens. There we go. All right, cool. So that's screen 12. I cannot for the life of me remember what screen Robotron is on. So if it's 11, 21, 20, it's got to be 20. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this needs to load the Robotron thing. So this should just be as simple as Robotron dynamic car. Okay. Is this going to work? Let's give it a try. Let's have a look. I feel like something's broken somewhere. What have I done? Oh. Ah, okay. It's the relative links for this. So those need to be removed. Really need to fix my build so it doesn't start loading until. Oh, did I not fill those in properly? Okay, let's have a look. Right, okay, that's fine now. That's fine. This is the area I've been working on. Okay, let's get rid of everything else there. So I don't need any of that. But what I do need is to look at Swarm. Oh, which doesn't have the okay, right, so I haven't done that yet. So I did it in Laser, but I didn't do it in Swarm. All right. Okay. So let's load up the Swarm. Let's indent it. Change that to Swarm. So the Mega 65 thing I'm working on as well, I'm trying to make that in a way that's going to be useful for doing similar stuff to this. So using the SD card to load stuff in. But I'm trying to write it so it all runs from an external SD card separate from the one you've got in your machine, separate from the kind of one that has all the ROM and stuff on it. So I'm probably, maybe not this, well, it won't be this weekend because I'm not streaming this weekend, but maybe not the next stream that I do, but the stream afterwards, I might do a little. We'll dig into how the ROMs work. How the machine boots up, what it actually configures when it boots up, and see if we can't replace it with a custom ROM, which will do a few things. One, it will mean that we don't have to worry about any of the stuff that's in basic. We won't need a basic upstart. We won't need any of that. We won't have to worry about where the ROMs are mapped to. We won't have to worry about the basic ROM taking over some of the higher area, like F700 onwards or whatever it is that it ruins at the moment. And we can load the program pretty much anywhere we want in memory that's not being directly used just by the Commodore 65 kind of processes itself, which means it will open up most of the low area of RAM, including the screen RAM as well. And then once we've created that, I'll create probably a little tool that allows you to change the load address, and then you can use that as a way to just basically launch any file you want from SD card. So you won't need any open ROM or anything. You'll just put it all on the SD card, plug it in, turn it on, and it'll run like a cartridge. It's the idea anyway. Good evening, Zenda. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Well. All right, so what was the other one? Swarm and Laser and Robotron. Robotron was the other one. Okay, so actually, let me just undo that a second. Have it all out. So okay, cool. Right, let's give that a try. Hopefully, that's all those issues solved now. No, I saw another one crop up. Curses you. Oh, I thought I did. Oh, missing end token. Wait, what? On those? Oh god, what if I have done something wrong in here? Unknown symbol. Unknown symbol screen 12. Wait, have I not imported that file? Oh, because I missed something, didn't I, in here. I need to add it in here as well. And put a little star on it here to say that that's dynamic as well. Yeah, all right. Other than that, I think Robotron has an end token missing. Let's see where, though. It looks fine to me, unless I'm missing a... God, there's a lot in that Robotron screen, isn't there? Ah, yeah, I'm probably missing the pseudo thing there. There we go. 5th time lucky, or whatever it's been. Been working on some room. Oh, I really like the last video you posted. It looks really good, Sender. I love the look of it. Hey, there we go. Right, so let's do a quick test to make sure the laser's still working. I'll come back to Robotron in a minute, but let's just go and test the laser and the swarm out. That's there, the one's up here. So yeah, laser's still working. That's really good. But we have now relocated it. And okay, so I'm not seeing a swarm in here. I'm also not seeing, it's not crashed or anything. So we need to fix that. So let me just set the start room to, let me set a dual window up as well, so you can see things a bit better. There we go. That's going to be better, isn't it? All right, and put the game loop in here. So game loop decides where we start. So if I just start at screen 0B, we'll just be able to jump straight into that room. So just try again, just in case it was a weird fluke. I can't imagine it would be, though. Hey, Sean. How's it going? Right, let's go and check out this other screen now. So hopefully the swarm is still there, or the swarm is there, and it's not. Right. Does the laser come back when we go this way? It does. All right, so the laser is working. Let me go and check the Robotron actually while we're here. It could just be that I'm not loading the swarm in when I need it properly. Okay, Robotron, yeah, that's working fine. All right. Okay. Let's have a look. Robotron, dynamic cart, Robotron, not Robotron, swarm. There we go. Swarm, dynamic cart, swarm, dynamic cart, swarm, dynamic cart. Loading into that location. That is not going to be bigger than that area, is it? In fact, we're not going to see it on here now. We should probably start finding a way to label some of these code blocks that don't get labels in here. But already I can see that, you know, we've saved a few hundred bytes. Actually, this is quite a lot. That's yeah, maybe another 2 to 3 kilobytes saved there. So that's good. It gives me some room to put the collision stuff in here. I don't think there's anything else actually in here that needs to be moved out. No. Control proxy is a funny one because, I mean, at the moment it doesn't really do much. It just returns the joystick. But this will be something that changes soon. Oh, switches. That doesn't seem to be filling up much. There's a little bit. Yeah, so there's a bit of room left. I think we'll be fine. Looking forward to tomorrow. Just playing some Battlefield 4 coming emotions. How are you feeling about the beta? So I played a little bit more yesterday. I kind of got on with it a little bit better, but I'm still bothered by the bugs in it. The bugs do annoy me a little bit. And I'm just worried that they've picked that map because of the tornado, and I don't think it's the right map to show off Battlefield. I think Battlefield is shown off better in kind of closer quarters, closer quarter kind of maps than that. So it's not very smooth gameplay. No, it's not a good map. It's the problem with maps like that is they just encourage kind of airplay, and airplay is kind of a little bit unfair, especially when you're on a map with 128 people. Feels. I like how it feels. I really do like how it feels. I think they've definitely made some improvements over Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 as well. Um, I don't think it's as arcadey as COD or anything like that. It definitely feels better than those games. And you can have some good moments in it still. I did enjoy a few moments in it, but for me it was more the performance problems with it. It just seemed to be, I mean, it performed well enough, but like I was watching so I always, when I play new things like that, I always have the performance metrics in the corner, and the 1% lows were terrible, like really, really bad. And you could feel it now and again. And now and again they would just be too, um, your turn just wouldn't be quite as smooth as you would expect. So, um, map is big and empty. Yeah, that's definitely, it's a problem with these kind of maps. I think the close quarters ones would be the more played ones. Also, the map looked a bit unfinished in places. Like there was areas where it felt like they hadn't quite finished the map. So in I think it's under the rocket actually. There's some tunnels underneath the rocket, um, and they just look really bare and like it just didn't look right at all. And just little tiny details like no number plates on the cars and things like that. So. I don't mind vehicle play as long as there's cover. If there's lots of buildings to go in, then I don't mind vehicle play. But this is like a few little buildings and then lots of hills and trees, so you've got to kind of run like crazy and keep in the tree lines and stuff. Um, but so far, I do like it. I'm feeling it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be good. Uh, yeah, exactly. There's not enough. It depends which sniper you use. Actually, I found the Russian sniper to be shite, but I really liked the. Is it? No, it might be the other way around. Actually, it might be the Russian one I really liked, and the American one I didn't. Just because of the quick fire on it, and the fact it has almost no fucking bullet drop on it. You can shoot miles with very very little bullet drop. Yeah, the different sides have different sniper rifles. No, different. Okay. Going off track a bit on a swarm. There we go, swarm. Right, so I want to check how much room this is using. I don't imagine it's that much because if I look at the tables, there's not really a lot in here. Maximum is 15. There's a little bit of kind of circle data. There's no way this is taking 2 kilobytes. So this seems to be like it should be okay. Maybe I'm just loading it into the wrong screen. So this should be the screen that it loads from. Swarm dynamic cart, okay, which is here. Swarm dynamic cart. So it definitely should be loading this. And there isn't a nit here. So let's have a look. So screen 12 dynamic. Oh, okay. Wait, have I just undone some crap that I shouldn't have undone? Hang on. I think I've screwed some up. I think I'm not paying attention again. Let's have a look. Yeah, I have. Of course I have. I'm an idiot. All right. So I should have had. Yeah, all right. This is why. Also, the as I said before, the demo is a few months old, so mainly because they wanted to make sure that because it's cross-platform, because you can do cross-play. Obviously, they have to certify the Microsoft and Sony versions of it, and because it's cross-play, that means the PC one gets kind of lumped into that as well. So whatever version they stop at is the version that the PC gets as well, which is a little bit unfortunate, but not really a lot you can do about that. Anything else needs to be done in here? No, it doesn't. Well, swarming it. There we go. So it is a little bit old. So I'm hoping they will fix the bugs mostly in that. How come you didn't see my millions in the because I don't make millions. I make hundreds at best, really. So I don't believe it's months old. They've said a few times that it is a couple of months old. Um, Uh, but yeah, I think it'll be fine. And the problem is with maps like that is it really doesn't give people a good feel of what Battlefield is about. Well, it kind of does in a way, like with the vehicles and stuff. But I think it will put some people off. There we go. Spend it all on it. I do, yeah. Pretty much every penny I get goes back in this stream, with the exception of a few kind of bottles of vodka here and there. Just sent Skazlin's Nexus today. Should get that tomorrow. And there's the PS5 on the shelf, which you still can't see. I should bring that out one day just to prove I've got a PS5 ready to go. Will it run on a Pentium 2 with 4 gig of RAM? I mean, it will run. Whether or not it will run well, that's a different thing. So, yeah, every penny that comes to me goes to DigiKey, or it goes to Absolute Vodka. So yeah, it doesn't really matter how much I make. So I'm happy. Yeah, so probably. In fact, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it to show you. Hang on. Reach it. The AI is kind of blanking it out a little bit, but yeah, I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Oh my god, stop blanking it out. God damn it. Hang on. Let me just change something in here. That you're going to get weird green screen section, but yeah, there you go. Nice PS5. Nice, a fully sealed box. You can see the seals in there as well. It's unused. I'll show you the other end, but it does have the serial number on, so I probably shouldn't show that. So that's going to be awarded at Christmas. Well, you don't. That's the thing. You don't. But oh Jesus, got my finger. Yeah, I mean you don't know that, but you trust me, it's definitely there. And I've got my own PlayStation 5 anyway, so I don't need another one. We need to tear off the tag to Andy. Yeah. Oh wow, fucking hell. I only watch other people code when I'm high on weed. Yeah, I can't code when I'm high on weed. I've tried and it doesn't work very well for me, unfortunately. All right, let's crack on. So we're going to do the collision stuff next. So we need to take a look at. We'll start with the laser here first. So first of all, I want to make sure: is there any place where I can be touching a sprite? The mace. You see, the mace is going to screw us up. Actually, there is a bug with the mace. Probably should fix that. Hey, Warlock. It would be funny when you tingle your Raspberry Pi. It shows the piano. No, I can't compete on weed at all. It's impossible. We have a Shalan in, Shalan on screen. Yeah, it's gone now. You got to see a little bit beyond the edges of my green screen, which is probably just a mess, to be honest. So I've got a pile of clothes in the corner as well. All clean clothes, though, not dirty clothes. So it's fine. I just need to fold them and put them away, but I haven't bothered. Last week we went around a moon shaped exactly like Felicity Kent. Oh, what's that? That's Red Dwarf, isn't it? Yeah. But I recognise that. Yeah, I recognised that. All right, so actually, what I want to do first is try and fix this thing before we do the collision, because I've realised that the mace has got an issue, which we should resolve. And there is the issue. So when it tries to render off screen, it tries to do the collision stuff and then fails, and we're going to need that to do the collision on the other screens. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take a look at this maze code, and we need to make sure that if the thing goes off screen at any point, that the calculation it uses locks the position to the edges of the screen or the edges of the visible area. So let's do that first. That should be pretty easy fix, I think. But whenever I say that, it's never an easy fix. So and I think while we're in here, I'm going to keep an eye out for anything that could be optimized better. I know that these can definitely be compressed into less kind of less space with bytes, but I'm more interested in code compression at the moment if I can find ways to do that. But only if it's obvious. If it's not too obvious, then I'm just going to leave it. But easy fix 5 hours. Yeah, that's what always happens, isn't it? So I'm aware that as soon as I say that, I've kind of set myself up for failure. I'm not going to scan through all the code. It's just if I'm looking at a piece of code and it looks like it can be optimized, then we'll do that. Okay, so check Mace collision. So this is where we need to kind of check that the sprite is in the correct range. So what this is doing here, so this is actually checking that the sprite is within screen range left and right. So I would imagine if I was to do the same thing on the edges of the screen, there wouldn't be a problem. In fact, I can't do it because I can't pick it up. So actually, let me start with the mace. That's going to be the easiest way to do this. Player has mace, yes. Yeah. So I was reading through the Cohen Sutherland. I kept calling it conjecture as well, and so I was very drunk. The Cohen Sutherland algorithm for lines in lines crossing a bounding box or crossing a rectangle. And I realized I could have done that on stream. I really could have done. It wouldn't have taken too long to do either. So that's what I'm probably going to do on the next stream is work that out. Okay, but you can see there, if I go up to the edge of the screen, it's not a problem. Even if I take it right down to the edge here, it's not a problem. It's only when it drops off the very bottom. So I think what we're doing already in this area down here, wherever it's gone, this update, collision update. So we're doing this check here, which is checking that things fall within the right range and then exiting if not. Oh, we actually do have one here as well, but it seems to be failing at some point. Okay, maybe I just need to drop this value a little bit. Okay, let's drop this by 8 because we only care about char level kind of accuracy with this. So let's drop it by 8 because this used to work. So I'm guessing it's just some things we've done kind of since then. Maybe the positioning of the char fetch maybe. So let's try it out. Let's go right up to the edge of the screen. Yeah, see, that's actually fixed it. Check at the top. Yeah. I mean, ideally, it should be masked there. We shouldn't see it in the HUD. But I'm not too fussed about that right now. We can always use some kind of rasterline trickery to do that, to disable sprites in this area by shifting them kind of off screen or setting their pointers to something different. Which could be done in the multiplexer quite easily. You could have the multiplexer only start plexing sprites at this point here. And up to that point, have all the sprites set with their pointers to blank sprites. then that way it would kind of work. But it might cause some kind of issues right on the edge of the screen, especially if the screens are busy. So maybe leave that. Right, so does collision work at all? Well, it's definitely working against these. It's not going to work against these in here, I don't think. So we'll just check that out, but I don't think it's going to work against these. No. I mean, it can't do because they don't have a death condition yet, so... Oh! Interesting, though. It does do some weird stuff with the... no, they... Crap. Okay, that's going to be fun to get rid of because they're blocked there. Shit. Okay, that's going to be there's another one over there as well. It's going to be a fun bug to fix. But let's get the collisions work. Yeah, like they're bugging out like crazy now. Is it just because I've got the mace out? Maybe it's just because I've got this out. Oh, did that just come out of the bottom there? I think that just came out of that. Oh, maybe they're getting stuck in each other or something. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. Yeah, exactly what I'm gonna do now. At least the mace bug is fixed anyway. Estimate that cats can make over 60 different noises. Yeah, generally when you're busy on a Zoom call and they want feeding, and they make 60 different noises. Unfortunately, 50 of those noises are them knocking shit over in the background. Yeah, possibly. Because that is the only thing that's changed, isn't it? Or that and the mace as well. But let's try some stuff out. It could also just be the way that it's updating. Like if it's because it doesn't seem to be doing it now, weirdly. Yeah, it's not really doing it now, is it? Damn it! All right. Oh yeah, kittens are a nightmare. Kittens are an absolute nightmare. Bohemian Rhapsody from that background. Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of this border flash on here because it's driving me a bit mad. So let's just get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. I think we've done what we can with the calibration on that one. The optimization. So God, my brain really isn't working well. All those beers have really not done it good at all. I'm gonna have to take a short break in a minute as well. So let them all get to stop. All right, let's try that. It could very well be the mace though, because the mace does do some kind of funky stuff with character, but it shouldn't affect the. Oh bollocks! What am I doing? I can't remember. I can actually die. So. Oh, there was a bit of slowdown then. I don't know if that was. Shit, I'm gonna get trapped, aren't I? No, there we go. Let them pile up on me, and then I'm just gonna try and. They do occasionally do a little kind of cross into each other. They do glitch a little bit now and again, but they usually fix themselves. And that's not bad at all. Yeah, I think it's Mace related. Yeah, I think you're right. It has to be right because it's just not happening now, and it happened like 3 times on the other one. So, also, why did the border still flash here? I thought I just changed that. Was that not the only place it was doing it? Oh, of course it's not. There was loads of places, wasn't it? We changed different colours depending on what we were doing. That's it now, actually. All right, one last try and break it, and then we'll move on to some collision. So we'll start with the laser collision because that's the first screen. I kind of want to start thinking about this game in the order that you play it now. Then that way we can kind of work our way through a playthrough of the game as we go, sort of thing. So we'll start with this laser screen, because this screen's almost done. It really is just a collision on this screen. And then it is down here, and it is through here. So we're kind of almost there. We do need to reactivate these as well. I was waiting on Andy doing a few minor fixes to the map, but I haven't heard from him regarding that for a while. So I might just take it upon myself to do them. It shouldn't take too long to do. So we can at least kind of deal with those. Oh, there's another green flash. I'm not sure what that one's for, but there is a... Oh, no, I'm trapped. Oh, all right. Oh, I think this was when the... when lines were being skipped. Yeah. There we go. Not me before anyone shouts at me. Is a sprite though, so the charge shouldn't collide. No, they're not colliding with the mace, but there might be some other residual stuff happening, because the mace does do some checks for collision as well. I just can't remember exactly what they're doing, so I need to look into it a little bit. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to be 2 or 3 minutes. Just need to go to the toilet quickly, and then when we come back, we'll work through the screens one by one, and we'll start on that screen. We'll do the collision, and then I think we'll just work through the screens as if we're playing through it. And when we get to a screen that needs some big code work, we'll go ahead and do that, because we've got things like turrets and stuff to do and that. All right, I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. Be right back. I'm back. One more race. It looks like I stopped it. I can't remember what happens when I stop it, when the counter's going, but there you go. All right. So I think we will do everything on the screens as we go through. So we'll start at the very beginning and work our way through. So I know the first screen is right. The only thing that needs to be done on the first screen is the instructions on how to play it, basically. But I'm going to wait for that until I've done the dual kind of joystick control system, because it's going to change depending on which. Hopefully, memory's being tortured. So this screen is pretty much right, except for the instructional layer that needs to go over the top. So you'll start kind of here, basically, and some instructions will appear here and here. So everything else works in this screen, so we can blow all these up. That's good. We can go and collect those for points. Yeah, our score's going up, so that's good. We can blow this up, which gives us speed up. So this screen's good, right? So first screen down. Okay, so we need to do collisions on this screen. The door switch opens when you shoot it, which is correct. But obviously there's this area below. The secret passage works. I'm pleased with the mask in there. It's all good. There's a little bit of a glimpse of the sprite as you go up here, but I'm not fussed about that. There's transitional stuff. As long as it's not a super glitch, then I'm okay with it. Mace is working. I can kill everything on here. Good. I don't cause any issues. Well, there's no sprite to sprite collision, so it's not going to get hit by that, even if it goes near him. Okay, cool. Right, so we need to do this laser. So what I need to know, is there any point at which sprites will collide when I'm not colliding with the ship? And yes, there is. If I've got the mace and the laser comes across, then the mace and the laser are going to collide, but not the ship and the laser. So now I need to work out that if I am colliding with the laser, can I get a false reading at any point? I guess not, actually. I just need to know, is my ship colliding with any of those sprites? That's really it. So we'll do that in the laser code, so we don't use up any of the code elsewhere. So let's load that over here. Really shouldn't be in the sprites. So, well, it's kind of built as sprites, I guess. So what do we know about the ship and the mace? Okay, the mace is also part of the multiplexer, I believe. But what we need to know is the ship colliding with anything? So if the ship is colliding with the sprite, oh, why is that one open? Actually, is there a point where the ship can be colliding with a sprite and the mace colliding with a sprite? That's the other thing we need to know here. Let's look. Haha. That series. I can't believe you've not done that series yet. I thought that would have been one of the first ones you tried to work out all the backgrounds for. How are we doing with backgrounds anyway? 22. So we've got 148 backgrounds there. That's quite a few. That'll last. Yeah, exactly, Warlock. Why have you guys not figured all these ones out yet? Okay, so if I have the mace and I'm here, so there's a sprite here, which is the mask sprite, which is the one that's making us disappear like this. So I'm touching a sprite now, and will the mace touch a sprite? That's the question. So there, I'm touching a sprite. Oh, I think it does just about. Okay, so we probably need to do a two-step collision check here. We probably need to check, first of all, if this sprite is actually touching another sprite. And if that's the case, we then need to just check its position against these sprites here. So the quizzes were easier than you perhaps got all intellectually made them impossible. Yeah. that was kind of funny. All right, I need my little Vic register thing so I can remember which the sprite collision one is, and we're just gonna output this value somewhere, probably at the top of the screen actually. Sprite collision is sprite to background, sprite to sprite collision D01E. I thought it was D01E, but I wanted to be sure. Okay, so we're looking at D01E and we want to see what values we're getting out. So I'm just going to, should I do it up here? Yeah, I'll just do it here. Let me actually go and turn the one off in the Robotron screen because we don't need that one anymore. We know that the Robotron thing is moving correctly, so let's just free up a little bit of this memory by... I'll leave it in there just in case we need to reactivate that again. But it should be fine. Okay, so what we want to check is D01E, and we want to draw it to the screen. So actually, I will go and grab some of this code. Or just look at some of this code anyway. And I will bring up the sprite set, so the font set, sorry, so I can see what the characters are. So if I open project, I need the base characters, so this one here. So I don't actually have A, B, C, D, E, F, which I would probably want if I was going to do this with hexadecimals. So we'll just have to go... how best to do this, actually? Just trying to think if there's an easier way of doing this. All right, tell you what. Let's create a utility class somewhere. Do we have a utility anywhere? I don't think we do we? Oh yeah, we do have utils here. So the moment it's just got random in it. So I'm going to put a temp thing in here. This I'm going to make this do binary to screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a value in the accumulator, and we're going to use that value to fill in an area on the screen. So it's going to be in the top section up here. Probably fit just about here actually. So I'm not sure exactly what the position is there. So first of all, I'm just going to take one thing and I'm just going to store it at C01D and just see what that's like. And I'm going to put this in the update wherever that is. After all the update is done, we'll do it here. But oh, actually, we've got this one here. Check versus player. Oh, player sprite collisions. Ooh, okay. So we've got some stuff in here already. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, okay. It takes this value in here. So what fills that value in? Okay, it's here maybe. Yeah, sprite collisions. What is all this? Sprite collision. Check player versus all but the mask. Rule out the mask. Okay, at this point, the player is involved in collision. Okay. Okay, so we'll take that value and we'll store that on the screen somewhere. But for now, let's just in the update function in laser here. So just before we do all that, we're just going to do that's probably capitals, isn't it? Yeah. So it looks like we've probably done most of this work already. So I do feel really, really gassy and horrible. It's not good. We're going back to coal power. Oh God. All right, let's have a look. So if we go, okay, well, it's not drawing anything to the screen. It should be drawing something up here, I would have thought, but doesn't seem to be doing anything. Interesting. Okay, I don't trust it now. I do not trust what I'm seeing with my own eyes. Speaking of football, Newcastle United just got bought by Saudi Arabia, or a consortium from Saudi Arabia, but basically the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia is basically the owner of Newcastle now. Okay, so it is. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is printed up there. There we go, isn't it? Okay. Oh God, that's hurt my eyes. All right, let's get rid of that. In that case, happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to just nudge this back a few steps. Let's do it to 0A like that, and then what we're going to do is going to take the contents of the accumulator and we're going to store them in this location so we can actually see what's going on. So I'm going to do that there like that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift a value off here into the carry flag. So I'm going to take I've got the value in the accumulator. So what do I need to do? Okay, so I need to let's do it like this. Okay, so we load X with 0. Then we're going to shift a value off the accumulator. We're going to do it from right to left. Sorry, yeah, left to right. So I need to shift it to the left like that. And then if the carry is clear, we're going to jump ahead to here. Otherwise, we're going to increase X. And we're going to have Y as 0 here. And this will be our loop here. And that will be at C0, Y, and that's going to be store X, Y. Can I do that? I can't remember if I can do that or not. I think I can. I think it's just the other way around. I can't do it. Okay, and then increase Y, and then compare Y to 0.8, branch if not equal, loop, like so. And this is just going to keep pushing a value off until it reaches it. Probably not the most efficient way of doing it, but it will do. Major being soccer league, yeah. They will be disappeared if they didn't win. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. You're looking at there, Jeff Bridges. Oh my God, I can't even remember what that one is. You need one more from this. That's yeah. That's unfortunate. You get most of the. Oh, I remember what this one is. Yes, I remember what this one is. Good luck. Oh no, actually, no. This is not the one I thought it was at all. SP can tell you what the other people are in this in, and then if you search them, I'm sure you'll figure it out very quickly. It's kind of an easy one. Different bridges around. It's actually quite an easy one. Once you know the people that are in it, it's pretty easy to, yeah. An easy one, this really. If you search those people, you'll figure it out very quickly. Okay, why is that not loading now? What have I done? I've done something again. Okay. Invalid addressing mode. Okay, so I can't do that. Fine. Be like that. I had a funny feeling that might not work. Okay. Okay, let's try this a different way then. Okay, so let's put the accumulator into the X register once we've done this. And then we'll load accumulator with 0 and we'll add 0. Then we don't need to do any of that. Store that there. Increase by query to not equal loop. So what we'll do here is transfer X back to the accumulator. Do dirty self mod rather than index. No, there's not much need for it here. This is fine. This is fine. We'll just use the fact that the carry flag will be set by this to make this add 0 or 1. It should be fine. JT and Jeff's chair. Did they really? Oh yeah. Well, it's not. It's not that. I wish it was. That's kind of cool. Damn, you needed those points. You don't need those points. Look how far ahead you are. You don't need any bloody points. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything up the top at the moment. Okay, I'm starting to think that's not doing anything. There's a little bit of glitchiness in the particles there as well. Minus 10k points for not you. I like it. I like it. Not seeing anything at the top now. I'm starting to worry that that's not being set at all. So let's try. Maybe it's not being set anywhere. Right, so try. Right, so hopefully, if this is working, we should see some. No, not seeing anything. Starting to think it's not doing anything at all. Okay, let's just quickly work through that code. So let's assume that the accumulator was 255. And then what should we see? Okay, we should see the carry flag gets set, the accumulator goes into the X register, then we put 1 in the accumulator and store it at this location, put the X register back in the accumulator, increase Y, repeat. Let's just try it with that. Maybe pin to taskbar? No, just close. God damn you. You're already pinned to the taskbar down there. Why are you being pinned there as well? There's already one here. Why is that one not opening? That's a very interesting point. Why isn't it opening? Are you drawing squares over it? Didn't your points already roll over? Oh, you thought I joined those squares over it. Which there we go. Yeah, see, look, it does put that value up there. So okay, so maybe that value was not being reset properly. Do I have to do anything? I can't remember if I need to do it. I always struggle with this register because I'm never quite sure what I'm supposed to do with it. Do I have to kind of hack it like that, maybe? Oh, It's just going to run it again, is it? It's because I never really use it, so it resets on read. Okay, so I don't need to do that at all. So maybe it's being read somewhere else then. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. What's this? Where's it getting that? What's that about? Oh, it is being read into this. All right, let's that must be a 0-page location. Okay, let's do that instead then. So let's put that in. Get rid of that crap. We'll come back to that in a minute. Well, I'll leave it in and cancel that because we probably will need that. See, this is what I mean. This should be an easy thing, and already it's taken far too long. To the 0 of the score. Oh, possibly. Maybe. Yeah. Well, I'll find out if I shoot one of the boxes straight away. Then Stephen Colbert. Okay, so now I've got 100, so I should be able to tell if the box overlaps. I don't think it will though. I think it's just about on the edge of it. Ah, see that, there we go. So now we're actually seeing sprite collisions here. So the first two are the mask, the sprite and the mask. And then we've got these sprite collisions here, which are these lasers being shifted back into each other all over the show. So if I go here like this, we can see that there is the player is being hit with a thing. That must be 5 points for what? Oh, for reset on read. Oh, go on then. Go on then. You twisted my arm. It's only because I've had a drink. Yes, so you can see there the bits. So the first bit is the player, and these bits are the lasers. So if the player is touching the laser at any point, then we're going to see the player bit turn on, and then a load of other things. Now the problem is if I go in here, we're also going to see player and mask hit with a collision. So this is misleading because now we're seeing player, but also laser things happen over here. So we need to, if there is a player mask collision, if player and mask are colliding. Thank you, Nicomo, for the bits. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's go and get the mace because that will help inform that thing as well. Okay, right. So the mace is another multiplex sprite. So you don't see it here, but you see how the mask. So the mask is sprite 2, sprite 1. This player is sprite 0. The mask that is hidden behind here is sprite 0. And you can see that is colliding. You can see it keeps flashing and colliding, and the sprites it's colliding with is is the mace. Now, if I sit just inside, if I go like down to the bottom here, and just get, there we go. So now I'm touching the mace, the player, and the mask. Actually, I think this is probably all right. I think it should go like this, right? If the player and the mask are touching, no collision, because on this screen it doesn't matter for this laser. And I don't think it does. There is no mask on the other screens as well. So, ooh, I think Skunk Monkey's figured it out anyway. So that means the only time that player 1 sprite will appear, actually, it could also, annoyingly, there as well. Fuck. Thanks for the bit, Sandy. Thank you very much. Does the laser impact the mace and vice versa? It doesn't have any effect on the mace. I mean, nothing happens if the laser hits it. But there are two places where, well, yeah, two places where the player sprite can be colliding with something and not be on the laser. So one is here, which we can count out. That's quite easy to discount. However, this one is a multiplex sprite as well, this switch button over here. And as you can see, it's showing us we're colliding with something. And because we only have hardware sprite numbers here, we don't know if it's a laser or what. So we just have to kind of... we're probably going to have to do a little bit of kind of checking. So I think we need to check if we've hit something, and then we need to drill into it a little bit more. Thank you for the raid, Wretched Squarity. Thank you very much. Welcome along. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. It's all fun and games at the moment, playing around with collision. It's probably best not to use exclusively hardware collision anyway, because I mean it's never going to be perfect because of this very reason. But we can use it to kind of narrow it down and save us having to do the collision check against this whole laser every single time. Plus, there's cases like this where I'm actually within the bounds of this laser here, but not touching it. So I think what I need to do is work out, am I touching something like that? And then if I'm touching something, then check the lasers. So let's just see, am I in the bounds of any of these laser portions? No, I'm not. I think I'm just outside the bounds of them. So in that case, in fact, is there anywhere where I can do that? No. Okay, good. So this is all right. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to go and investigate that this player sprite collision function and see what the hell's going on inside there. So we'll leave this routine out for now. We'll keep it in the utils. It does need to be removed at the end. It is only small, but it will be useful now and again for things. Okay, and instead what we'll do is we'll go and take a look at... oh, actually, do you know what would be... Sorry, so while I'm doing this, because this is binary, I'm actually going to make it output proper binary, because why not? So if we make this D0, it should output zeros and ones now. I just want to see that working now. I'm certain it's going to work, but although it's going to get mixed up with the score a little bit, isn't it? So let me just nudge it over by one as well. Passing by a little raid, no problem. Thank you very much. It's always appreciated. So I think Skunk Monkey's figured out what that other thing was. I don't know how many you've got though. I'm definitely not going to be playing any Resident Evil tonight. That's for sure. We'll pick it up again next week. But I really don't feel up to it tonight. So there's a bit of kind of performance adjustment that needs to go on this screen. We can work that out a bit closer. So I mean, it's not bad. There's just a little bit of kind of flickering on the thing, but there you go. So you can see a binary number at the top. So that's good, and you see it corresponds exactly with what we're expecting. So it can actually output binary now, which is good. Just can't get what they are. Why can't it be shared birthday? I think you're definitely on the right lines, Skunk Monkey. Definitely on the right lines. I think you might just have been maybe a bit slow. So I can't remember the exact entries, but I think you're on the right lines anyway. All right, let's go and take a look at this routine. So there's a routine with player sprite collisions in it. I cannot remember where that is now. Is it just in collision? Yes, here. Okay. So let's see if this is actually run at all. So let's just do that and see if we get a border flash. I think it probably is run, but I just want to check. Think of the numbers when you leave these in game. Yeah, big conspiracy theories about it and everything. Oh, well done! You got that one. Press 7. I would never have got that. Oh my! I don't know. Actually, those tracks are kind of fairly iconic, aren't they? Okay, I'm not seeing any border flash, so that routine is not happening. This is not happening. Yeah, so it would have been happening here in Sprite Collision. This is one where I think we should only call it if we need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it from there, and I'm actually going to call it from the laser itself. So I'm going to call it from here. And then see what happens. So I don't need that anymore. So let's just comment that out. Because there's no point in us doing a collision check if we don't need to do a collision check. So let's only do the collision check when necessary. So on screens that have it. We'll probably do most of this in the screen code itself, but when there's a laser, it's the laser itself that needs to be checking, I guess. So we'll just build it into that. Also, I think there's a real kind of benefit to shuffling things around in that laser screen. Some of the stuff doesn't need to be calculated in the borders. Yes, it's working there. Okay, and I think we should die if we... No, we don't die if we hit it. Okay. We need to get rid of that border flash though now. Okay, so that's happening. So let's have a look. Check player versus all but mask. Okay, so I think the first thing we need to do is if the mask... If it's just the mask and the player, then we'll exit. So what we'll do is we'll start first here. So it's going to leave that all as it is for now, and I'm just going to do and 1 1 4 5 6, and then compare that to like that. And if that is equal, we exit 0. So I believe exit 0 is the one that is going to cancel. Yeah, no sprite collisions. Okay. Oh, this is actually working out what sprites we collide with. Ah, this is interesting. So if it does collide, it tells you which sprite it's collided with and then exits. Okay, that's good. So then we can do this. So then we are going to do a check again. Same thing. Check player all but mask. If the value is positive, in other words, if this isn't set, then we jump to exit. We don't need that bit now, so because we're kind of doing that here. At this point, the player is involved in a collision and sprites 0 to 5 involved in a collision. At this point, player is involved in a collision. I need to confirm if the collisions are the same. I'm not entirely sure what it means there, but let's see what happens now. So if we take this value and play a sprites collisions, actually, what is it actually grabbing there? What is that X? That X is a multiplayer index. Okay, so that's our index there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that value. I'm going to add D0 to it, and I'm going to store that at C01B, wherever it was. So this is going to print a number in the top corner, which is going to tell us which of the multiplexer numbers is assigned to this. So if we look at the laser, so the laser is just going to grab whatever the next sprites are, whatever the base index sprites are. We should find out that actually one of the sprites on this screen, which is screen 11, if I remember rightly. Yes. One of the sprites is going to be this sprite here, which is the one in the top corner, the door trigger sprite. So this will be the first number, or whatever that is in the sprite in it. I think it'd be like 3 or 2 or 3 or something. Good night, Zender. Good luck with the bugs. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of them. It's definitely getting better. I mean, it's got less and less buggy as we've gone on. That's for sure. And considering the kind of crazy stuff we're doing with the cartridges, I think it's looking pretty good now. So quite pleased with it. God, my mouth is so dry. This bloody beer that for you. Drinking pints of Amstel. It's just not me at all. I need more water. Luckily, I brought a second can in. water in a can. It feels so wrong, but it is very tasty. Okay, so we've got a value here. This tells us which sprite number we've collided with. You can see here we're colliding with 5, 7. Okay, so this is pretty good, actually. This is telling us that we're colliding with these sprite numbers, and we should find that this one here is a lower number 4. Okay. In which case, what I'm going to do instead then is I'm actually going to move it out of here because it's going to depend on the screen, this. So while the laser does need to calculate the sprite collisions here, we can action them in the actual screen itself. So all we're saying here is calculate this sprite collision. In fact, let's put a little note to say that's what we're doing. We only care about this on this screen. Any other screen we don't care about. Well, we do care about it on the screens, but not at the moment we don't. When we get to sprite collisions on the screens, we'll add that update in wherever we need it. So if a screen has a laser on it, we don't need to ever call that method. It will be the same with the swarm as well. We won't need to do it on the swarm. But what we can do in here, in this update, is we can say, see, look, we're doing the collision here. And we shouldn't be doing that here at all, I don't think. Oh, actually, no, maybe. Check versus player. Okay, compared base index plus 0. So base index is this value here, which is the sprite we get from here. Yeah, actually, that probably is the right way to do it. Okay, so let's take a look at that then, because it keeps the code in here. So that means if the laser is on, then all the code is handled in here, and then we'll do some testing. We'll move around the screen and see if that's going to work. I'm really annoyed that some of these names aren't working for you, Skull Monkey. I'm pretty sure one of these should have worked by now. I don't want to. Actually, I can open that kind of because that will go up there. Let me just double check something. Just want to make sure that nothing's going wrong here. Oh God, where is it now? Yeah, I think you should have had them by now. Probably a spelling thing. I think it's probably a spelling thing. Because let me see if I can see. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely correct with people who've guessed it on Daft Punk tracks. I'll give you that. I don't mind telling you that. It's fine. I can see at least one that you should have had. Two that you should have had, actually. So I don't know why you didn't get them. Maybe. Actually, why didn't you get them? Oh, okay. Let me just check something. If I made a spelling boo boo. No, I haven't. Okay. So I know for a fact that one of them is just misspelled. I can see the two. I can definitely see the two that you were aiming for, and I think one is just misspelled. I'm not sure why the other one didn't work. Leave you with that anyway. I don't want to give you too much away. I've kind of already given loads away. My spelling is treble. Awesome. Spelling is treble. Hey, Cosmin, how's it going? All right, let me just check some screens on it. Okay. Okay, so we are going to leave the collision in here, and we're just going to work the collision into using that base. It should work with that base in this, but let's just double check what the code's actually doing. Where's the freaking collision gone? Collision. There we go. Okay, so it should do this, and then at that point we should be able to get, yes, player sprite collisions. If it's equal to 0, we don't need to do anything, and we just exit. Oh, if we collide... Oh, Shit, I don't have it working all the time, and I just needed to enable it. I bet that's it, isn't it? Fucking hell. So what we're going to try and do now is we're going to try and find ways to kill the player when he's not touching the laser. So just to make sure that there is no other kind of problems here. So for instance, what happens if... So first of all, let's just go in and try and get killed by the laser. I think it should happen pretty quickly. Okay, cool. So that works. So now we'll see if we can actually sneak across the way you're supposed to. Okay, cool. And we're going to go up here. Okay, and I don't die on that, so that's good. I'm going to die again. Yeah, there we go. Right, but this time I'm going to go and get the mace. Shit, have we got power-ups dropping when you die? I don't think we have we? That might be something I need to do. It's one for next stream, though. I can't be bothered this stream. Let's get the collision stuff going. Okay, so now I want to get across, and I want to go and sit in the door switch up here, but with the mace kind of flying around, and see if I die when the mace hits the laser. Okay, I don't. That's also interesting. That's good. I thought that was going to kill me, but it hasn't. That's really good. So I think we're pretty good here, actually. Okay, let's try going into the mask on that side with the mace hitting the laser. It shouldn't happen because the mask invalidates any collision here. So okay, cool. I think that's all right. Now, if we die, do we drop anything? Oh, we do. Okay, good. Although it seemed to drop. Ooh, what happened there? I think I died at the end. I think that should have been one more death. Okay. Okay, let me just try that again. I want to grab some power-ups and then die and see what happens. Because I think it should drop more than one, but I think they all kind of gathered up on each other there. But I want to see what happens. So if I die, my laser should... my weapon should reduce down a level. So I've got double bullets at the moment. But that should reduce down if I get hit. So double bullets, yep. If I get hit by the laser. Oh, it only drops one thing at the moment. I've got a single bullet. Okay, so that's working. Oh, but look how it's kind of broken the laser a little bit there. Oh, the multiplex is broken. Something's gone weird there. I think it was when I tried to grab... When the mace was on the same screen. Something went weird anyway. Okay, not too fussed though. Let's come back to that later. That's a kind of multiplexer glitch. I'll worry about that later. This screen is pretty good. We do need to fix this. Oh no, I'll tell you what else we need to do on this screen. We need to move this up. So let's do that now quickly. So we'll need a little bit of map work, but it shouldn't take too long to do. So let's open up the map, which I think is this one, if I'm correct. Yes, okay. So what we're looking for is the... God, I don't even... Oh, somebody told me how to do this. I wonder if anybody can remember what it is. Is it like shift and click? No, control and click. Control, put it on that one. Shift and click, no. Control and click. Oh, what was it? Somebody did mention this. Oh, you got one. Which one was it? Pharrell Williams. Yeah, it was just you put a single R last time. I thought that one would be good because I was kind of hoping Jeff Bridges would have been the first one that came up. I thought that was going to put people off. Because you wouldn't expect Jeff Bridges to be on a Daft Punk soundtrack, but he did do the one of the Tron songs. I think there's his voice is in it quite a bit. Okay, so here is the bottom half, and I think that's the top half there. So you can see this is why it's a problem. This character here is just like one tiny piece, but it's blocking us completely. So I need to get rid of that, which means I need to remove it off the screen here as well. So if I just go into the screen, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to color this one in like with a weird, horrible pattern, so you can see it. And then we're just going to remove that from the screen like so. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's going to appear in a few places, and I need to figure out where they all are and remove them as I go. So I will do just this one screen for now, but as we move through, we'll need to kind of fix them all when we see them like that. So I'm going to leave those in place. I will put like a strange box around them or something, so it's like really obvious what this is. In fact, I'm going to do. So anytime we see that symbol, we know that it's one that needs removing. But as I say, I'll remove it as we go along, so as not to. Shit, how do I paste over the top? I forgot. Tools, no. Oh my god, how do I paste over the top? Where's all the? Oh, there we go. Right, copy that and go there. See, I can't do that because it just assume. I think I can delete. There we go. That's good. Okay, so now we just need to change this. So what I intend on doing here is just taking this picture as it is, extending it like that, get rid of that top piece, and shift it up, and then put 2 in like that. So now I just need to do the same on this one as well. The reason I copy that line is just so that I don't have to fill it in again later. There we go. And then that kind of looks fine. There's not a huge problem there at all. I mean, if you were to try and make it look a little bit similar, could maybe add the gap in it like that. And I think that looks fine. That's not a huge difference. And now that will mean I can move past that properly. I will do the other ones as and when I get to them. I'm not gonna. Oh, actually, what have I done here? I shouldn't have done that because when I deleted that chart, I think it deleted it from here as well. And I'm not sure what it. Okay, let me go back again. Let me just undo my changes. I need to keep that pattern in there because I need to see exactly where it is, and I don't want to ruin any of the characters. So rather than use the shitty chart pad, I mean, there is a way of doing paste over. I just can't remember what it is. I'll just do it like this instead. And then we're going to remove that line. And we're going to move that up. And I'm going to put 2 in there. And we're going to go into this one and do the same here. Remove 1 line. Get rid of that one. Whoops. 1 line there. Get rid of that line there. Shift it up. Put 2 in. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and we can still see where that character is on this one. Now, there is one down here as well, so I'm going to do the same on this one. I'm going to see if I can find it and just draw these characters ready to go, basically. So there's the bottom piece. But where is the top piece to that? Is that that? No. Oh, God, I wish I could remember what it was. How much work went into that laser? Quite a lot, yeah. It took a full stream to do the... it was not a thrilling stream because it was... it's all just like pre-calculated positions, basically. Pre kind of set positions. The particles themselves is quite easy, actually. There's not an awful lot that goes into those. The difficult thing there was just working out exactly where the laser was hitting and making a mark to say, okay, spawn particles here when the laser is at this angle, sort of thing. See that one? Is that the top of it? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. It looks very different on there for some reason. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not, is it? Because... yeah, that's not it. It's close, but no cigar. Okay. Man, this is going to be hard. This is like a needle in a haystack finding this. Well, it's going to look mostly blank like that. So that's probably one side of it. So if I do, yeah, so that is one side of it. Okay. So let's do that. So I'm going to keep these character. And the reason I need to keep these is just in case for some reason there's another tile which uses that shape. And if that is the case, then obviously I need to come up with a solution for replacing that piece. So I need to leave the character in place for that. So now we just need this one on this side. So it's going to be a blank, mostly blank, except for a piece like that. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Right, now we know where that is. Okay, so the next step is to take the dome, which is it this one? I think it is this one, and do the same trick I was doing before. So copy it, delete a line. Wait, no, that can't be right. Can't be right because it didn't update as I did it. No, it's not that one. Oh, that means there's another place where these are. That's why that. Okay, right. So there's a place somewhere where that is being used and it's incorrect. So I guess we'll just have to keep an eye out for that when we get to it. Interesting. I'm not sure why that would be like that, but yeah. Isengard, I've not heard this for a while. I see you guys have played it a little bit more recently, but it used to be like in every stream thing. Every single stream it used to get played. I think it's that one, isn't it? Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, there we go. Right, okay, so build it up, slide it down one, put two on the top like that, and then on this side, do the same. There we go. Right, so that's that one. So that means somewhere in this map there will be another one of those that doesn't have. Hang on, let's make this bigger. I could probably find it. That doesn't have these two squares on top. So anytime we see them with the two squares on top, that means it's an old one. So you can see the old versions here. There we go. Look, these ones are raised up. Okay, so they definitely should be adjusted. And I think the reason they're raised up is because of the tiles that they're on, but I don't see a huge benefit from doing that. So I'm going to move them down. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete this area like that. And I'm going to copy those ones. So if I grab... Why does that not let me grab it all? There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to make a massive difference to that area at all. You've still got a line of pixels gap between them, so that's fine. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the map data here and just make sure that that one doesn't cause a problem by also turning this into a square. So anytime we see these squares just on their own without one of those domes, it means there was a dome there. To make it easy, because as I say, I don't want to mess around too much with the order of the character set. I mean, it doesn't matter too much because it is pulled in via a script, so it shouldn't matter an awful lot. Let me find, where was there was two bits to the top of it as well. God, where was that now? It's not that, is it? Is it that one? No. Nope. Nope. Oh, it's there. So if we see a block of 4 of these squares, we know there was a dome there originally and we need to put one back in. So the only other thing we need to do in here is the 6-way mine things. So the reason I need to change that, we may as well do it while we're in here. The reason I need to change those is because originally they were, let's see if I can find them actually on the map. Originally they were blocks of 3x3 characters, and they've been changed to 2x2, and that causes some issues. So I mean, it's great for kind of lining things up, But actually, it's still 3x3. You can see it's kind of leaking over into these anyway. So it is still 3x3. So this one, this one, this one. In fact, it's 4x3, 4x4 in this case. So this needs kind of shifting into a different area, which is not actually going to be that simple. I might have to draw this separately and then kind of replace the characters somehow. So it's this one here, and this bit here as well. It looks like, and for some reason the top corner sprite. Oh, it doesn't have a top corner sprite. So let's have a look at it. Oh God, I wish there was an easier way to move this map around. Oh shit! All right, maybe not that easy though. Yes, there's one here. There's one on the very first set of screens. So you can see it's kind of 3 on the top, 4 in the middle, another 4, and then 2 by the looks of things. So it's using a lot of characters, which means this whole area is kind of difficult to get past. When really what it should be is 3x3. This should be centered on one of the squares. It does mean we'd have to make some slight adjustments to the position of things on the screen, but not by a lot, like half a character's position. But it does mean some stuff might look a bit unbalanced on other screens. But let's have a go at trying to adjust that. So if we imagine that this is our top corner instead, that means we can still, because all these 3x3 squares are being used. It just means these 2 aren't. Okay, so how am I going to do this? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 9 more characters to this. And then I'm going to just plop them into the background here. So let me, as I say, I want to try and keep this as neat as possible. So let me just drop them in as a grid in here so I can see where they are. And then give me something to start with. And we'll put a little cross in the middle or something. There you go. Doesn't really matter what it is. Okay, so now we know what we're working with. We can paint this into here somewhere so we can see it. Oops. It should make the collisions slightly more accurate as well, because it shouldn't be, you won't have so many squares that are not being used hardly, but still, because this entire square here would be collision, even though there's only like 2 pixels set in it. Whereas if it's shifted over a little bit, it will be, there'll still be a kind of gap around the outside where it will be colliding, but it will be smaller, a lot smaller. Okay, so let's focus on the middle. Let's work our way out from the middle. So if we put the cross in the middle, right, we can't get it quite in the middle. So let's offset it by 1, because it's never going to go straight in the middle, unfortunately. Let's have a look. So this would be 2 pixels on this side. So actually, if I shift this over that way and do it like that, yeah, that fits kind of nicely there then, you see. So then copy this pattern. It's like that, okay, and that goes all the way over to this side, which comes in like that, okay. And then I believe that square's unused. Then at the top, we have, that's all filled in as well by the looks of things. Is that one? Can I zoom in any more on that? I can, okay, awesome. Makes that a bit easier. In that top row there, does it go right to the edge? It does. Okay, cool. So that's that piece done. So let's go over one. Let's go this way. So if we've got that, that means that entire edge is kind of done. So we'd have a gap there. And this would be 1, 2, and then across 2, 1, and then this is the spike coming back in. got 2 rows of this here, so it should be like that. But there should be a tiny little bit sticking in like that. Okay, let's go down one into that corner. Okay, so we're at this point here. So wait, was that? So we're on this edge here. Okay, cool. Oh man, there's probably an easier way of doing this, but I just do what I'm comfortable with, isn't it? But this has been needed for a while, so it just makes sense to get this out of the way while I'm thinking about it. Okay, so there's a gap coming down here. So 1, 2, 3, that, and then it kind of does that. And that's pretty much it, really. Does that look right? Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? So as I say, this block, you will collide with it when you're halfway through, but you don't die when you hit this. You only die when it shoots. So it's not a huge problem if you collide with it a little bit on these points here. And it will still be kind of 2 pixels down on the next one anyway. So it won't feel too bad, I don't think. If it does feel bad, we can always adjust the collision a little bit for these things to allow you to move slightly more into them. And then it currently allows. Okay, let's move over 1. So now we're on this pixel here, and then 3 across that. That looks like 3 down. Yep. Okay, do we have anything above that? No. Do we have anything above here? Yes, we have that pixel there. Okay, cool. Okay, onto this side. So now we've done up to this edge here. We're on this pixel here. No, we're on the next one. Okay, so is this the chicken song? It is, isn't it? It's the chicken song. The spitting image chicken song, isn't it? I think. Chicken in the stick a deck chair up your nose. Fly a jumbo jet and then bury all your clothes. I remember this. Really good. 3 there. Looks like a gap. That one. Yep. That. 2 like that. And that. Ah man, spitting image. Spitting image will never be the same. I mean, they've done a valiant job of trying to resurrect it, but it's just not the same. Oh my god. Extenders. Well, to this corner now. Okay, so it's getting a little bit trickier here. So, um, where am I here? It's not there. Okay, that was the last pixel. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Yep. And then on to that. And there's little things we can do, like we can slightly extend these spikes out a little bit, just so that the collision feels less. Is that the Aussie version of it? I like it. There we go. I think that's that side. Yeah, we're almost done here. Okay. Do 3, yeah, and then immediately it needs to start going up. Yeah, it looks like there, that piece there as well. go. And then the final piece over here is going to be 3, yeah. So that's going to have a gap there. And then it. That side looks too long now, doesn't it? Yeah, it is too long. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Cool. Okay, cool. Right, so with that in place, what we can now do is we can go and replace all instances of this with this new one, which means I need to find the very beginning, which I believe is here. So what I want to do quickly is just see if I can figure out how to do the paste properly. So I think if I Control C, is it Control E maybe? No. Control B, no. If anyone knows what the paste chars paste override Shift Control V, there we go. So if I paste that in, oh god, no, not there. There, like that. There we go. Control C. You see how, because it's just 3 by 3, well, the top row is 3 anyway. This is all going to fit nice and neatly, hopefully. And then this row is 4, so that means this end piece will be not used. So I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to make it that square pattern. Should we do that now, like that? And the same on the next row as well. 1, 2, 3. Where is the other side of that? 1, 2, 3. And then that one is, I don't know where that one is. Right, we'll come back to that in a second. Let's just put the other pieces in. So this is the bottom piece, which I think is there. Yeah, so that's right. Okay, so now we just need to figure out where this piece is and where these two pieces are, and just make sure that they're colored in so we know we need to remove them. That, though, in itself is going to be a challenge. So that one's just a piece in the top corner, which makes me think it might be used somewhere else as well. Which does make me worry a little bit, actually. If I zoom out, in fact, if I make all these yellow, they all, let's do a color that really shows up. Let's do red. All right, so if I make all these red, then they should show up nice and easy and we can see what the hell's going on. That's another one. So I can quickly zoom out on the map and see if there's any weird places. All right, so there's one here. Remember what I was saying about if there's one where there's just a gap of, God, moving across on this map is really hard. And I'm worried that I'm painting stuff in places I shouldn't be. We see this one here. This needs to be a dome. So what I'm going to do that now while it's fresh in my mind. I'm going to try and go through this map now, actually, and that's probably the safest way. So this needs to be this, basically. Let's just get rid of those. We know those are all good, so get rid of those. Okay, we'll come back to the red on that in a minute. So let's work our way across from the top of the map. Okay, so yeah, so see here. This is expecting a specific char. And if I get rid of it, so this is expecting probably one of these here, I guess. No. Yeah, that one there. So this one is looks like a fill-in for two of the pieces down there. So let me just change that to cyan. See if I can see that anywhere else on the screen. Let's change it again to green, maybe a bit easier to. Okay, so it was only ever on the top of these domes by the looks of it. No other places it was being used. Yeah, okay, so that's good. We can put that back when we're done. I'm not going to do it now because I'm going to leave that there. So we'll have a little weird square thing in the corner for a while. But then I will be able to replace that. So it's gone very quiet. It's because I'm doing map editing, or people are just bored of gambling. I hate map editing. It's really not me at all. Oops. I think that's it though. That is literally the only place that does that. So I'm actually gonna get around that by adding a new character. Once I've done, actually I've done all of these now, haven't I? So I can get rid of that side. I'm just gonna add a new character in here with these two set like that. And then if I go up here, oh no, there's one on that side as well. All right. Yeah, okay, so that just needs to be color gray, wherever it is, that one. And then we need another one here. So it doesn't matter if I add a couple of characters on the end, that should be absolutely fine. We can have up to 512 anyway, without causing any issues. I just need to replace that one there as well. All right, so I think that's it in terms of switches and stuff. I don't see any more. I don't see any more of those squares anywhere. But we'll use this method as we go through and check the map in various places. So let's start at the beginning. Let's scroll down a row at a time, changing a column at a time, even changing anything that needs to be changed. So everything's looking good here. Okay, so there's a switch here that needs that. Yep. That's it for that. Let's move across. Okay, these can just be deleted. It's good. And they still look the same. There's very little graphical difference. Okay, so this needs the dome at the bottom here. Where the hell is that gone? There it is. Right. Okay, there's these ones on the side as well. All right, we'll do them now actually while I'm thinking about those as well. Okay, domes on the side. So do you see where they are, anyone? My brain isn't configured now. Is that one? Yeah, that's one. Yeah, okay, right. So draw that line there, take that line away, move that in, shift it across, two dots like that. Which means this is probably the other side of it. So let's just draw a square on that. Green as well. Okay, so where's the other half of that? Is it this piece? Yes. All right, so let's do the square first. I have to go and rescan those other columns just to make sure there's none of these pieces there, because as you see, it's kind of reusing some of those things. Hey, Jez Jeeks, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Well, cheers. It's just lemonade, but cheers anyway. Okay, so let's move this in. Let's do that. Delete those. Shift it over to. Okay, so we've got the dome on that side working. So there should be another one on the other side. I don't know where that is. Let's see if I can spot it. It's got to be in here somewhere. We're also going to need a little bit of a character room for doing these fans as well, to make these fans spin, which we can do on a. Actually, we'll probably do that on the next stream. Actually, it'd be nice to see those things animating. Okay, so we can see some greens over there. We'll come back to. We'll scan through the maps again in a second. Just looking out for any of these things. All right, there's one half of the dome. There's the other half. All right, cool. So go. So we'll scan the map for these green and red squares, and then we know that we need to put something in there to replace the. You know, if it's not part of a dome, it might be part of something else, like they were with those switches. Then we can go and replace those if need be. And I think I can actually recompress all the data when it's done. But I'll do that probably at the end of the project rather than now, because we're still fine. We've still got like 80 odd characters. Well, 70, 60, 66 characters we can mess with. All right, so it went down from 80, but it's still quite a lot. So cool. There we go. Right, so let's remove those ones from there. Let's just whiz back over to the other side of the screen. Just double check there's no extra ones in here. Okay, so we're looking for green and red blocks in any of these locations. Okay, none there. Also looking for things that are out of place. So like anytime we see something like this, if it doesn't take exactly 4 squares up, like if it's leaking over into another square, then we need to adjust it. Thankfully, Andy did a really good job of doing most of this already, because there was an awful lot that was like this. And he did a really good job of kind of squaring all the maps up, because obviously this was done in Unity first, and when it's done in Unity, it doesn't quite need all the precision that we have here. Okay, I want to just check this against the original screen, the start screen. It seems to be the same, so that's probably shared. That's fine. Okay, let's move down. So we've got this red on here. That's fine. Know about that one. There's this piece here. We still don't know where that piece is coming from. I'm reluctant to kind of completely remove it. So in fact, I'm going to leave those ones in. I'm just going to cut around it like that. So it should be all right. Okay. Let's start back at the bottom again. Okay, so slide over ever so slightly. There we go. Right, so 2 domes. Anything else? 2 domes. So this is the other room with the lasers in. So this is going to be a tricky room to do, because it's supposed to have 4 lasers in here, but I don't think we're going to be able to manage 4 lasers. So we might have to do some clever stuff in here. One way to do it is to pre-calculate all the laser angles and just store those, and we may end up doing that in the other room anyway. So we could either pre-calculate them all at the very beginning of the screen and just store them in Sprite RAM, or we could just create the sprites and store them. I kind of don't want to just store the sprites. I like the fact that we're drawing them. As something kind of nice about actually calculating these lines, and we did spend quite a bit of time doing that. It's just for 4 lasers that's going to be really difficult to do. So okay, cool. Okay, so this one here, clean around that. So like these things here, these are fine. They all fit nice and neatly. That's good. Change the color of this once we've gone through each screen. Okay, some lasers there, some domes there. Go clean around that one. Domes. Okay. It's not that bad actually. I should have done this a long time ago. I think we will do these fans next, because I think it'd be nice to see them spinning actually. So I think that will be, well, I'll get the collision in, I guess, first. I guess I should just stick to the plan and do it as we reach the screens, but we'll probably reach those fans pretty quick, because I think, oh, whoops, too far there. I think we come into this screen here, and it's, oh no, it doesn't have fans, and I thought it did. Does this one have fans? No, but this one does. So we will get to these fans pretty quickly. I forgot where I was now. I think here. Looks good. I'm not seeing anything else. Red, a lot unusual here. Okay, let's move over. Just keep a little bit of overlap just in case I do miss something. So you see, like that would have been a nightmare to get through with that extra collision bit there. It just would have been really difficult. I think that's a Robotron screen looking at it. Let's go back up to the top. It's going to be really hard to judge where the edge is. There we go. Need some more domes. I think we're looking pretty solid, actually. I don't think there's much more that really needs adjusting in the map. See, like this is unfortunate because of the size of this. How it was spread out over 4. It doesn't quite work anymore. So either this needs changing to 2 of these, or just needs to accept that it's not going to be quite centered like the real game. But it's such a minor thing, really. I don't think it's a huge deal. Certainly not going to stop the game from being approved, if you like. I think this is a Robotron screen as well, looking at that one. Okay, so we've got this situation where we've got the 4 reds, so we need the dome on the bottom piece, which is this one here. Anything else up there? We're at the edge of the map, actually. More or less. Go. Like I said, I'm not going to do Resident Evil tonight because I do have the EGX thing tomorrow. I need to be fairly clear-headed for that. I don't want to be doing a panel with completely knackered. So yeah, just I mean, I know I've mentioned this like a billion times, but it's quite happy that I'm doing it. So if you are at EGX tomorrow, I will be doing a panel at about 3:00. Well, it's exactly 3:00 in the theatre. So pop along if you want to. If you can't make it, that's fine. I'm sure it will be online at some point. I did try and look for the streams today, but I couldn't see any streams available. So I think they're just going to put them online after the thing. But yeah, it should be an interesting panel. I think it's going to be good. They're very strict as well with the entry requirements in terms of like COVID passport stuff like that. So I'm kind of pleased. That makes me feel a bit more comfortable. All right, that's kind of done now. Then that is the map kind of adjusted how I want it to be adjusted. And actually, we should find with these things, which I'll try and do now. Actually, is if I'm going to write these values down. Piece of paper. I have a piece of paper. Do I have a pen? I have a Sharpie. That's too much. There we go. Oh no, that's my freaking tablet. It's a pen. Oh, I've got pencil. All right, pencil. I love the smell of new pencils. When's that stream again? The panel stream. It's 3:00, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be streamed. I don't think. At least I couldn't see streams from today's stuff. So, all right. So I just need to note down what these characters are. So, let's go through them one at a time. So E1, E2, and E3. E6, E7, and E8. EA, EB, EC. Okay. Everything else I'm going to leave alone. I'm going to color these so that they actually no. I'm going to leave them slightly light. I'm going to leave them like light so they stand out just while I'm working with them. So, and I think that kind of covers everything in terms of the mines. I don't think there's any other mines that aren't active. This is a funny one because I think it moves around. So this will probably get removed and replaced with a sprite anyway. I mean, that's the other thing. These could have quite easily been sprites. They kind of fit a little bit better as well into the map. But okay, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to go and have a look at the script that does the parsing. So, chars for spike mine. Okay, I need to look at how this works now. I've completely forgotten. I think that's the top corner of the mine. So if I have a look at 242, yeah, so it's the very top corner of the mine. So the 6 spike mine top corner is 225. So if I set that to 225, entity ID from 1 to 7 but shifted. Well, Jesus Christ, I don't remember what the hell this is about, so I'll leave that alone for now. But let's drop that in and see what happens. So it was actually using 250 as a mine. What would 250 have been? Oh, it was this one, which is, oh, actually, that is a 6 spike mine, but in a different place. I don't think that's being used, actually, so I'm actually going to highlight that in green. See if I can see that on the map anyway. I don't think it's being used. Or if it is, it shouldn't be being used. Yeah, it's not. Okay. So green and red. I don't know why I'm using green and red and not just red or not just green, but oh no, they're there. Look. Okay. So they do exist in this location. So I need to reassess those. Actually, they're 8 spike mines, aren't they? 2, 3. Oh, mind you, the other ones are as well. All right, they need to be looked at. So this is something we don't have an entity for actually. I need to see how they work and maybe replace them with the ones that we've created or something. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. I'll have a look at those. I think it's probably just going to behave like a 4 spike mine with 2 extra sets of spikes on it. So, yeah. Okay, and save. All right. So now if we run this, I'm hoping what we get is a 6 spike mine that will actually fire, that will trigger and fire. Because we did have it working, and the only reason it doesn't work anymore is because when Andy gave me the new map, it didn't have the same layout in characters as I was expecting. So, oh my god, how many versions of that do I have open? All right. So I just disabled them while we we're working on other things, rather than kind of deal with it straight away. Now that because it needed adjusting, now it's been adjusted, we can actually test it properly. So. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh shit! All right. Okay, so something about that mine causes nastiness when it goes off, but at least it's triggering. That's the thing; it is triggering now. So I think what I need to do is let me see if I can figure out what this is now. It's going to be something to do with the entities or the explodables somewhere. So the destroyables, whatever they're called. I can't remember where they are now. I think they're in here. Yeah. Okay. So we have these patterns, and they see this pattern here. This is the pattern that we're looking to create. So it may be that it's not using the correct pattern. It doesn't say anything. It just says about the screen shakes bonus 4. Okay. Is there anything else in here which I need to add in? It doesn't look like it. So what happens when something explodes is it tries to locate the top corner of it. Once it locates the top corner, it tries to work out where all the rows are. It could just be that it's not correctly assessing this piece, because it's only when it's that 6 spike mine. So let's go and have a look where that is. That should have its own section in here somewhere. Is it in this one, or maybe it's in? No, it's not in that one, is it? Where is it? Is it in items? Explosions. No, it won't be any explosions. That's kind of small. Bullets, decals, particles, items, destroyables. Haven't the Varvat? Yeah, that's why I wrote them all down. But I was kind of hoping that this. So this is a script that turns the char pad into something that we can use. I was kind of hoping it would be enough to just point out where the top corner of it is, but it seems like it's not. I think there's something else in here. I just need to figure out where the hell it is in entity. Maybe it's in entity. Yeah, I think it's this one. Explode entity, update mine, add spikes 4-way, add spikes 6-way. Okay, so this is where it's been added. And in terms of flashing, it seems to be fine, but when it blows up, it shouldn't be failing. It's failing when it blows up for some reason. So remove already dead. No, okay, so there's a check. This is where it registers it. Then once they're registered, there's a update entities. This one here, it checks the location. Update mine, update mine, update mine. Okay, so all of these are mine. So this is the entity ID. So that's what this is in here. These are the jump things. There's 4, 8, and C. Entity ID from 1 to 7, but shifted. Okay. Which would imply that that is wrong. Wait. What happens if I just put another row in there? Is it because it's... It's one for next time anyway, but make it understandable now that half. Like, oh, cool! I'm glad you do. I'm glad you enjoy it. That's kind of the point, really. I do this because I want people to try this stuff themselves, or at least kind of enjoy watching it and kind of understand what I'm doing. And I think we've definitely achieved that in both of those things. I think people are going away and making games, and people do enjoy watching it. There's people watch you aren't interested in this kind of coding at all, but they for some reason will enjoy watching me because they're mad. There we go. Right, let's fire that off. Ah, there we go. So this time it didn't crash, but it didn't clear properly either. So and this kind of went through the wall weirdly. So it's probably to do with that jump table. You see, it has completely removed it, so the persistence is working. For instance, if I trigger this, is it still trigger? Oh no, okay. So there is a bit of a bug here because that wasn't being triggered by my proximity. Weirdly, okay. Okay, but this is a good start. Now we've got those mines. So I think what we'll do on the next stream is kind of really dig into each screen properly. I'm going to spend the last 15 minutes or so just trying to dig around with that mine, see if we can figure out exactly what's going on. So let's have a look at what this entity ID is, where it comes from. So it looks like we use these to define the entity IDs, and those go in, not in there. Where do they go? Entity ID mine. Okay, they're okay. So it tries to find the top character, and then it sets the attribute to be the 6-byte mine. Okay, so the reason why this is shifted to the left, so these are actually 2, 4, and 6. The reason they're shifted to the left is because of the way the map works. So it needs to use a couple of bytes of the map space to do this. So these are 2, 4, and 6, which means that these things in here are 2, 4, 6. So this was correct, actually. It doesn't need that in there. But it doesn't explain why it stopped it from failing at some point. So I guess what we can do is we can put, whenever we see this being used, we'll put a little breakpoint in and see if we can figure out what it's actually doing. So at this point here, basically, once we get the type and we transfer it to the X register. So at this point here, I'm going to put a breakpoint in, and we'll try and see what value we get out of here. Now this is going to do it on every single update. That's not going to be very pleasant at all. Okay, Well, actually, we know the update's working because we know when we go near it, it starts flashing, right? So that means that this is working correctly. So what we need is this thing here. Add spike 6-way. So let's not add spike 6-way. Let's add spikes 4-way. See if that solves the problem. It could just be that routine that's broken. 6-way spikes. Collision detection for Hunchback. Which type of collision detection? Sprite to sprite, sprite to background. How have you been doing it? So we did a little bit of collision stuff tonight. We'd kind of already done the code for it. It seems like. Oh my god, the chat is so annoying. Just keeps turning on and off all the time. Well, at least we've got the code for Twitch now. Maybe we can fix their chat. Sprite to sprite, both hardware and software. Yeah, that's what I'm doing on this screen here. So I'm doing an initial hardware check to see if I've hit sprites, and then if the right combination of sprites has been hit, then I do a software check to make sure that it is actually me touching the laser. Because of the multiplexer, that gets a little bit trickier because you have to check multiplexer values. Well, you don't have to check multiplexer values. You do your normal hardware check, and then when it fires, then you have to check against multiplex sprites and return a multiplexer number to say which one you've hit. But these are all exploding now, so there was definitely something which seemed to throw off the explosion. See if this fires 4 properly. No, okay, so it still fails on that portion. I mean, it's kind of funny when it does that. It's like it explodes so hard it ruins the screen. So it's not to do with the 4-way spikes. That's fine. It's probably more to do with the removing of the entity. So this remove item force hit object. So I think it's probably to do with this. So what I'm going to do is, if it is this one, I'm just going to return from it straight away. So we're going to see if it does the spikes, but getting rid of the spikes doesn't get rid of the entity properly. So explosion, yeah. Stage multiplayer, so only some sprites are visible on screen. Yeah, so that shouldn't affect the collision, because if 2 sprites are colliding, then they're colliding, the hardware will always pick that up. So the trick is to read that collision. Actually, would it work? That's a very good point. Actually, I just need to check something because I'm doubting something there. I just want to check if I explode, if I hit the bottom sprite here, which should be a multiplexed sprite. So yes, I do. Okay. Yeah, so I think just reading the hardware register, because it will kind of build up. If there is a collision, it will record it in there. Yeah, 2 sprites on top of each other doesn't help. So there is a case here where you can come up to this point here. You can be touching this sprite, and then you can have the mace kind of spinning around you, and it will touch the laser. So this is why you use the hardware collision, just to do your quick initial check. So you do a quick check. You say, okay, something's collided. Mask out anything you know shouldn't be involved. So there's a mask sprite over here, which if that's involved, then we've definitely not died. We're out of the way of the laser. So I mask that out completely. But let's say I'm here and the mate hits this. So I'll get a collision that registers that the player has been involved in a collision and the laser has been involved in a collision. I don't know what these hardware sprites are, because these could be anything, because of the multiplexer. But I know that the player is always going to be player 1. So as long as you keep the player out of the multiplexer, it becomes very easy to do. And then at that point, you just do bounds checking against them. So you do a quick bounds check from the player against all the available sprites, and you should be able to figure out which one you've collided with. And then if you haven't collided with any, then you know that it was a false positive from the hardware sprite collision register. Yeah, as long as he's always on the same registers, then you should be really easy. So anytime your collision register registers that those sprites have collided with something, Doesn't matter if oh, wait a minute, you're using yeah, I mean, you're just going to be doing more checks than normal because you're using an overlay on your sprite. So it just means that you have to register any time sprite 0 and 1 are involved in a collision with a third or other sprite. At that point, you can then check those sprites where you just pick one of them. You pick like your outline one and check its bounding box against the bounding box of all the ones in your multiplexer. Okay, see how that fired but didn't crash? So that means I know now that the crash is due to the way that the spikes are moved. So there's a destroy X, destroy Y. It's probably due to the way that these things are being written to screen, collision points and stuff. I'm not going to do this right now because it is getting late. I am going to try and remember this is what we're on. And we'll come and do this next time. In fact, if I just put an RTS on there and leave that there. Oh no, because if I like make it crash, then I'll remember, won't I? But yeah, it'll be to do with this. Probably this routine here, actually. In fact, let's try that one more thing here. So if I just don't do anything here, just RTS before I do that remove, I think it should be all right. Because I think what we need to do is we need to set up exactly where the remove needs to happen and what the dimensions are of it. So normally a remove is 2x2, the normal mines, but this is a 3x3 remove. So we need to first of all know where the origin is, the top left corner of it, and then we need to pass that into that routine. And I think it's just those values are wrong. Problem is these are not going to disappear now, so I just need to kind of squeeze past them all. Yeah, they're exploding but not disappearing. But that's fine. I just want to see if the one up there does the same thing. Oh crap! I've got in that. I didn't want to go in there. Damn it! I'll try and shoot them all. Well, they're not going to remove if I shoot them either, though. That's the thing. All right, I just need to trigger them all. And probably die once or twice. Let's get this speed boost. That'll help. Keep the speed boost though, please. Okay, cool. So now if I trigger that, yeah, it's definitely the removal. It's not doing it. It's literally the way this has been removed. So we should be able to quite easily investigate kind of what values should be being set by these, but aren't being set. This is all it will be. It'll be just these values not being set properly. Because of the way this mine works, it's not the same as the other mines, and therefore there'll be some weird oddity to do with it. I'm sure if we set this to be a 4-way mine, it would probably work. Even if it was the wrong characters, it would somehow work. But okay, should be easy to fix. Well, I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to do that next week. So yeah, this is going to be my last stream until next Thursday. I'm not going to stream tomorrow, as I say. Got the EGX panel tomorrow, so I'm just going to focus on that and then chill out on Saturday and play some Battlefield, I think. And then Saturday night I'm going to go out for a meal anyway, so I'm not going to be around my normal stream time. I will be back on Thursday though next week. We'll continue exactly where we've left off tonight, and just basically start just plowing through the screens one at a time until we get to the end, and then we'll do some playthroughs and fix bugs and stuff. And we've still got a way to go yet, but I'm feeling good about it at the moment. It's feeling way less buggy, which is nice. Hey Proton, you reach us just as we're about to end the stream, so I'm gonna just go and find the channel. It's gotta be Chalk again, hasn't it? I guess. Oh, actually, he's Pocket Watch is doing some dev. Let's go and raid Pocket Watch actually. So we'll raid Pocket Watch, and I shall catch you all on Thursday. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get some sleep and try and sleep off the nerves for tomorrow, because I'll be honest, I'm bricking it. So it's not something I've ever done before. So it should be interesting. I don't mind speaking to you guys through a camera, because the only thing I can see is a camera and a screen. That's it. It's going to be very different with a live audience watching me. So thankfully it's a panel and not I'm not giving a presentation or anything. That would be a nightmare. I think I would just pass out on stage. But sharing the stage with a few other great streamers and talking about it is talking about what we do here every Thursday and Saturday and sometimes Tuesday. It's going to be good fun, I think. Anyway, I shall leave it with that. Let's go and raid Pocket Watch now, and we'll see you all on Thursday. Take care, guys.